Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Phoenix and this is the Consumer's Guide to Filmmaking. Beau is Afraid. 2023, Ari Aster. This film follows a man named Beau Wasserman. Living a hermitic life, Beau plans to visit his mother after seeing his therapist. But after someone steals his things, Beau is forced to cancel. This cancellation will lead Beau on an odyssey that will force him to confront things about himself and his family he would rather leave untouched. Man, Ari Aster is back at it and the man just keeps batting out fucking bangers. This film is a surreal, hilarious, and wild film about anxiety and trauma. From a technical perspective, Ari Aster is in top form with this movie. His usual pinpoint accurate and flowing cinematography style is on full display here. Not only does the camera move with such style, using very stark and creative angles, the frames are just a feast for the eyes. Especially so in the early sections in the city, Aster crams so many details into a single shot, whether they be sight gags, symbolism, or just a nice blocking choice. The editing in the film makes great use of the smash cut in order to focus on Beau's chaotic mind and anxiety. When he finds out his mother dies, we get this shot that hangs on him as he processes it. Then it smash cuts to him still standing there, but water from a bath he was filling has started flooding the room. Those sorts of quick cuts, when done properly, have such power and impact. The production design in this film is something that aids in the visual style. The sets in this film are probably the things that are jam-packed with details the most. The city is full of these posters and billboards that act as sight gags and pieces of info that will come back into play later on. On top of that, they also fit the characters and the tone and look really nice. Then when things get surreal, while things may look fake at points, that is very much an on-purpose thing. The special effects and art style is supposed to be this surreal sort of thing, and things not looking quite right aids in building that anxious sort of atmosphere. People dying in this film, all the gore, it looked realistic and well done. There is a very wild monster design in the film that is quite an immaculate bit of puppetry and practical effects, I must say. The film's score is mostly an atmospheric affair. The orchestra music can swell to big heights, but it mostly sits in the background. I remember the music being very stark during this surreal theater section. It really made that sequence feel otherworldly. Then when it absolutely went off the rails, it got big and exciting. Other times, though, things are left in silence, as Ari Aster's ability to direct actors is enough to give a scene weight. The few times there's licensed music or a soundtrack, it's used well. The songs that are used when Beau arrives at his mom's funeral were interesting choices, but also very fitting. On to the script, as Ari Aster has crafted himself quite a fucking roller coaster here. His scripts are always on point with the characters and the dialogue, but what I noticed about this film is that he's really mastering that blending of tones. This film can be both brutally thought-provoking, but it also can be fucking pants-shittingly funny. There is so much shock humor, and there are so many well-crafted dark comedy jokes, sight gags, and weird characters that you will be laughing out loud at points. The entire second act, taking place at this weird doctor's house, and that family dynamic coupled with Beau's demeanor, is just wonderful stuff. I was fucking howling. However, I would be remiss if I didn't point out that Ari Aster's roller coaster here kinda went on for a little too long. Certain sequences, while I appreciate them from a filmmaking perspective and understood their thematic purpose, I felt they dragged the story on for a bit too long. The whole theater scene, I think, could have gotten to the point a lot quicker than it did, as cool as it all was. If you shaved about 20 minutes off of this film, this might actually be a contender for Ari Aster's best film. Yeah, it's that good. Regardless of length, though, this film handles its themes really well. Ignoring the heightened plot and the bizarre, surreal nature of its presentation, this film is, at its core, about a man with severe anxiety. A man who is afraid of everything, Beau views going outside as traversing a dystopia full of murder, and when he eventually does go outside, things turn batshit real quick for him. When taken in after getting hurt, there is a mistrust and a fear that builds in him to the point where he has to run off on his own. This man, Beau, is even scared of his own mother. But his fear of his mother is for good reason, as I feel his anxiety was developed as a result of his mother. Beau's mother is a manipulative, emotionally distant, and crazy individual, even going so far as to fake her death and pay off his therapist to illegally record their sessions with Beau. Despite the over-the-top movie nature of it, it's still manipulation, gaslighting, and a display of emotional abuse from a very angry mother. While the ending is, as I've said, surreal and over the top, it basically amounts to Beau feeling on trial for how scared he was as a kid and how emotionally abusive his mom was, drowning in his fears as everyone walks off at the end. Our cast brings this story to life beautifully. In our leading role, Joaquin Phoenix is brilliant as Beau, not only transforming himself physically for this role, even a couple years removed from Joker. That weight gain must have been a bitch. But Joaquin also really gets into this character mentally, emotionally. There is so much detail to his performance. From his body language to speech patterns, he so accurately and convincingly captures anxiety disorders and neuroticisms like the one Beau has. The two actors that are featured almost as prominently as Joaquin Phoenix are Nathan Lane and Amy Ryan. Nathan Lane gives a hell of a comedic performance, and his dialogue delivery in those scenes was really weird and fucking funny. Amy Ryan counters this, giving such a subtle and powerful performance. In the short time she got as well, Patti LuPone gets to have her Ari Aster blow-up moment, and she fucking crushes it. Great cast in this film. Man, this film might be a bit long, but Ari Aster seems to be one of the most consistent filmmakers going today. While Aster may not be at the level of, say, Robert Eggers, I feel Aster might have a true masterpiece in him one day. While this film is a little off the beaten path, and its surreal nature may turn people off, Joaquin's amazing performance and Aster's inspired direction make this Odyssey one you have to check out. Recommended. And I am feeling an 8.5 to a 9 out of 10 on this one. It might potentially be a 9 on rewatch. I can't really guarantee that though. Yeah. Catch you later, guys.